I'm watching my own face on Facebook while this is live. Oh, a couple of people are looking, but one of them is probably me. I'm taking you upstairs. Oh, hello, Regan. So, I'm in my room again. Oh, hello, Pete. Long time no speak. I'm glad to hear it. I was thinking just now, what should I talk to everyone about? So if you have any questions, please write them, and I'll do my best to answer. But I guess I could talk about the second track on the EP is called Unique, and it's called that because it's made up of a lot of sound samples that are unique, like completely unique, or like unique to a certain time or place. For example, the bass line is made up of a noise that the lifeboat station was making in Fleetwood in the middle of January. I don't know what was happening. I think it was having some kind of plumbing thing happen, but it was making this low rumble, so I recorded it on my phone, fiddled about with it on my computer, made it into a bass sound. So that was very fun, and that was part of my music course that I did in January. Yeah, 3 out of the 4 songs are ones that I wrote and produced for the course. This is probably the quickest I've ever written a set of songs and then released a set of songs. And it's the first time I've ever released something digitally on like official platforms. I've uploaded to Bandcamp for years and years, but thought, nah, I don't think what I'm doing is quite good enough to put on iTunes and Spotify yet. And I just wasn't happy with it, so I'm glad I waited till now to do that, because I feel much more confident about it, and I know that if anybody finds my music, they'll be like, ah, this is good quality enough for me to listen to. So, yeah, okay. Let's see. What does Regan say? Yes, I was getting a bit bored with only playing guitar and recording guitar, and I found that I can never record a guitar the way I want it to sound. It's more fun for me at the moment to just play around with samples and plugins and make my own noises, because I can get a much greater range of sounds and they sound more modern, a bit cleaner. I've pretty much kind of left my acoustic guitar versions behind for now, because I just don't think that's what a lot of people want to hear at the moment, or at least not from me. You want to hear something different from me, I think, after 10 years of doing the same things. Yeah, I'll talk a bit about the Unique music video that will be out at 8 o'clock tonight. It will be premiering on YouTube, which is very fancy. It's really not as exciting as a movie premiere or something like that. So it's not a red carpet event, but I'm still excited about it. The Unique video, I had this insane idea about a year ago. What if I could just like rotoscope my favourite GIF images and animate them and like make them into 16:9 format? What if I could do that? What if I could like open up the GIF as all of its separate frames, which is something I can do, and then kind of just manipulate them, and that would have incredible viral potential and people would want to share that. Because I was just thinking, how can I access that whole kind of meme thing? Because I've got a few meme pages that are quite popular. I've got one that has 20,000 followers, and it would be nice if I could introduce those followers to something I've done that's creative. I wanted to kind of make a first chorus and verse short version of the music video, but I realised very quickly that I've already animated 140 frames of just my own mouth moving, and that's taken me all week. So, and that's a reasonably easy one because it's just one thing that only has like 4 colours, but a lot of GIFs are very complex, and even if I kind of dumb them down a bit, they're still like, you know, 10 different colours, multiple different shapes, moving backgrounds, shaky backgrounds. I worked out, just to get the first 2 choruses and the sung verse done, it's how many frames? Looking at another 200 frames probably to finish that. I thought, why not just do like a very short teaser, so I've got something to show for it, and then animate it properly and not have like a deadline in the same way. Okay, let's read some more things. Yes, Regan, I think that idea that if it doesn't sound good, hang on, that's my window. Hey, if it doesn't sound good as an acoustic song, then it won't be a good song, no matter how well you produce it, no matter what you do with it. And I think there's some truth in that, but then there's some highly produced songs that are impossible to play on an acoustic instrument, and that's the idea. Could you imagine dubstep on an acoustic guitar? Like, it's an entire genre that is not suited to a physical instrument. Well, a traditional physical instrument. I don't know. I'm believing that less and less as music kind of progresses in terms of music tech. I just think there's lots of good ways to get your ideas out now that aren't a pen and paper and a guitar. And that's a completely valid way of doing it. I've done it a lot. Yeah, you're right. If I don't really believe that anymore either, Regan. Piano is probably a more easily translatable instrument for telling whether or not a song is good, I guess. But again, if your song isn't even about melody, then you're going to struggle on any other instruments. Anyway, let's... thanks, Pete, for the encouragement. What else can I tell you about the EP? I made a decision that I wanted to have, like, album artwork for every track and not just the EP itself, because I wanted to kind of show the different flavours of what I was going for, and also kind of reflecting certain aspects of my personality and how they come out in the songs. I'd already done like a music video of sorts for the first track, so when I did my photo shoot I kind of dressed up in that outfit again. But yeah, I did that all in one night. I started putting makeup on about 9 o'clock, and then by 11:30 I'd finished a shoot with 5 different looks. And it was so much fun. It was kind of amusing, kind of trying to stick fairy lights on my head and make sure they didn't fall off and set my phone camera to timer and like not getting blinded by the flash. Like, it was great fun, and it was a huge energy burst just on that one night, and the next day I was just flat out because it had been such an investment in energy. Unique, I decided I wanted to reflect the rotoscoped animation idea, and I made like a vector art version of the photograph I'd taken. I've got my picture, I'm doing that. And then I decided, alright, I'll just turn that into a vector piece. And the background that's like coloured squares is actually a photo I took of some garden ornaments that we had hanging, and they were doing this nice colour thing. Just applied like a pixelate thing and turned it all the way up so the squares would be huge, and it's like, now I've made myself some background. Really easy. Very few of the things I've done require any real skill. It's just kind of bringing all those simple elements together to make something that looks a bit more impressive. The pull artwork, I wanted it to look like I was in space and that I was the centre of a black hole, and I was this glistening goddess in the middle of a black hole, and I was sucking all the stars in with me. I kind of wanted that, and I was like just standing in front of my large black skirt that I'd hung up on my wardrobe with fairy lights balanced on my head and a few kind of like table gems that you get on like the wedding part in the Home Bargains. It wasn't just low budget, it was like almost no budget. It was just things I already owned, very precariously balanced on my head. And then I just added some bokeh light effects using an app on my phone, and then just saved all the images back onto my computer, put some text on it. Yeah, that was me trying to look spacey. And the last one, all again, I look like I'm wearing like a headdress, but it's not really a headdress. It's just, I'll show you. These flowers on my head that I threaded through, you know, like when you get a spiral bound notebook and it's quite a chunky one, you take all the paper out and you're left with just like a tube, like a spiral of plasticky metal. I had it in a shape that would go over my head, threaded the flowers through, didn't even secure them with anything, and just like plonked it on my head, put some of my wig hair into the flowers because I wanted to be like, yes, this is my soft romantic song where I'm all naturey and it's all very soft and pretty. This is a result of not being able to do your work for a long time, and then it's in your head for ages. You're working through every possible issue and you're thinking, okay, and then when you actually get a chance to do it, it's just like bam, 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 and it's like, wow, well, that was so fast. And that has happened to me so many times on the road to getting this EP finished. It's like you spend weeks planning something out, testing it out, learning your program or your software or whatever, and then it comes to release day and suddenly you're able to cross all these things off like in one day, and it's really cool. I'm encouraged that I can actually do it after all. I can do it myself. I don't need somebody to come in and say, oh, well, that's not good, you should just listen to what I have to say. And it's like, well, I'll listen, but then I'll ignore it. I can have a vision for something and carry out that vision, and then it can be something that people enjoy, and that's just really important to me. Some people say, oh, you should make music for yourself, you should make what you want to hear. I think, well, that's nice, but I also want to kind of like gift things to other people. Like I think, oh, I know that person's really into this genre, wouldn't it be fun if I did that? Aiming it at people I know and the people that are like them. So there's plenty of inspiration I've taken from my other musician friends about the way I've done it. That gives it kind of like a broader appeal, I hope. My good friend James Mercer, the British one, he released his first album in years and then did it all like official on iTunes and everything. And he'd worked so hard on the songs and producing by himself pretty much for the first time ever. And I thought, you know what, James is doing it, I'm going to do it. So exactly a week later I released my thing. So yeah, sorry James if I've stolen your thunder on this weekend, but it's my turn. So 8 o'clock tonight, premiere of my music video teaser. Other than that, go to your usual streaming or buying service and you'll be able to find Lucid Letters Portmanteau. 8 tracks, 4 original tracks and 4 instrumentals. Thanks Pete, and thanks Regan for watching. Thank you for anyone else that may have seen this. I will speak to you again soon. Goodbye.